Hi, my name is Tony Exum Sr. I'm the state representative for House District 17, and so glad to join you this morning. During my sophomore year in 1968, I had an opportunity to give a speech about Dr. Martin Luther King. I talked a little bit about his vision, about his courage, about his demeanor, and ultimately about his sacrifice. I remember being so nervous because it was the first time I was speaking in front of a group. And after I gave the speech, a few months later, Dr. King was assassinated. I became a beneficiary of Dr. King and the civil rights movement. It allowed me to join the Colorado Springs Fire Department in 1974. After a few months on the job, a white firefighter came up to me and said he didn't want to sleep in the same bed as other black firefighters because he thought all black firefighters were dirty. And I remember the impact that it had on me, and my response was that I was going to go talk to him, and the outcome wasn't going to be very nice, but I had to remember the things that Dr. King fought for, and I had to fight through that to finish up my career. And I didn't really address that with that individual until several years later, because I remember Dr. King's demeanor when he was discriminated against and what that meant moving forward, because I know if I had addressed that, if I had approached that individual, the outcome wouldn't have been good, and I probably would have never completed my career as a firefighter. Some other things that happened along the way, every time I got promoted, and I was promoted several times from fire inspector to fire lieutenant to fire captain and to fire battalion chief. And each time I got promoted, some of my comrades, and usually they were other white firefighters, came up to me and said, you know, the only reason you got promoted is because you're black. And I remember each time that happened, because I'm the type of person, if you tell me I can't do something, I'm pretty competitive. I'm probably gonna try very hard to do the very thing that you said I can't do. And that's probably not a very healthy thing to do. But I remember as those things happened, it always brought me back to the sacrifice that Dr. King made along the way. And I got a chance to spend almost 36 years as a firefighter because I was able to fight through some of those things, some of those discriminatory remarks and racist remarks that happened. And that Dr. King and a lot of leaders at that time made those sacrifices. The other thing I want to talk to you about today is about voting and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. Before that happened, in 1964, I was giving during my campaign in 2015, I was giving a poll tax receipt from a constituent. And it was from 1964, September 24th in Mississippi, where this individual had to take a bias test and pay to vote, like many other blacks at that time. So now, I encourage people to get registered to vote, because now in Colorado, the ballot comes to your door. You don't have to go to the polls. You can fill out your ballot and turn that in. And so when people tell me when I'm knocking on doors that their vote doesn't count, it doesn't matter, I pull out that poll tax receipt and I ask them, I said, would you care enough to honor the sacrifices that individuals made years ago to give you the right to vote? And so that's my challenge to folks today, is to remember the legacy of Dr. King and all the things that he stood for. And let's continue to fight and moving forward, because we still have a ways to go.